So hi Sajjad. It's lovely to meet you after such a long time. And Freddy is what you're doing now. So we'll start talking about that, but we'll backtrack into many things. There are lots of stories. You're from the UAE. You grew up here, and then you got your big break here, though it was a Bollywood film. But now tell me first about Freddy, and then we'll go backwards.
Freddy is gonna be released on 2nd December. It's it's uh, it's something interesting because it's dark, and I mean the audience is gonna be interesting for audience as well to see Kartik in some dark genre, which is I guess it's new for him as well.
Right.
And I hope that people will accept it the way they accept the comedy from him. And my role is a bit different. I mean, all the actors normally they say, "Yeah, my role is this movie is different," but it's different. And reason is because I don't have a long beard, so that's me.
You don't have a long beard. That's
Yeah,
that's
me
right?
different. Yeah, that me should be something different.
Okay.
So I'm quite
Excited?
Can't use excited. No, I'm waiting to see the reaction of the audience, what they say as in such a role. So
just tell me, is it a negative role?
I have to wait till the 2nd of December so to see.
I'm asking you
getting him to see me in those negative role. I mean, that's the first question, of course, comes to every person's mind. But we have to wait till at least till the trailer.
I know that in real life you're a poet, you're a filmmaker, you're anything but this dark side. But on screen, this is what we've seen you watching. So
yeah, it's for me it's interesting also because I never thought I'm gonna do the villain role one day. To be honest, yeah, I always thought I'm gonna do those crazy roles, but never villain. But then how is the cinema? You will be known for a role, and then the other stuff will comes according to that.
Yeah,
and that's how it's been my life as well.
Yeah, but do you think negative roles have more meteor? Like there's more emotion, more expression in a role like Tiger Zinda Hai.
It's more challenging. It's more challenging. The thing is, with respect to the hero role, but negative role it's I call it a character role. You have you can experience different character rather than the hero. Normally we get used to it, especially in Bollywood big films. The lover boy or the fighter, all those, or comedy. He's a weak person, then he becomes strong. But we know the graph, but in when it comes to the villain, it's totally different. Especially in my case, I was lucky somehow because the villain role I got, it was different. I could experience more, and the directors gave me also that opportunity to experience more.
And your role was a very ice cold anger villain. It wasn't a shouting, screaming.
True. Somehow I added to it also.
Yeah, and the fear was in the
because I remember when I was sorry.
The fear was in subduing the anger. Like it was a subdued villain role. It wasn't a flashy.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know how it is, but I guess Ali has to answer that. Ali Abbas, because when I did the audition for Tiger, I don't know if they expected some audition to be that calm, to come as a villain, just come as that calm, or is it what in their mind? So we need a person who's just calm and talk with his eyes. But in my mind was like, if he's a bad guy, he's a bad guy. Why he need to shout I'm a bad guy? From beginning. That was in my mind. He's a bad guy. He doesn't know. Come on, I'm a bad guy. Look at me. So he will have that aura around him. So I gave the first audition. I was so calm, and second and third, and I tried to keep that. So I don't know. It was the character from beginning in a script like that. or is it because of my audition Ali liked it and I said, okay, let's keep it how it is.
Right. Also, now with Freddy, tell me about working with Kartik.
Oh, he's a very sweet guy. He's very down to earth. We're chatting on set. He were just explaining how it's been different for him, especially this role. He's experiencing new things. He's discovering new things about him, and of course, I didn't expect him to be that sweet and that humble.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And tell me also, Alaya is also part of the film. Do you have scenes with her as well?
Yeah, with both. I have it both.
Okay.
And I heard both people, so I mean that can be a sign.
Okay. So okay, you already almost not revealed the character, but given us a certain expectation to it. Okay. So tell me, what are you writing now? There was a phase. I mean, you first of all, when I met you last in Dubai, you were part of the music video that you did.
Yeah. You came on set. Thank you, of course. You came on set while we were making, and you came on of course, and you gave a speech also on the release. Yes.
Yes.
We forced you.
It was lovely. It was unusual. It was new for me to watch you in a in a role which is not in front of the camera so much. But also tell me your writing. Are you writing anything?
Yeah, I am writing, but now because I'm just focusing on acting for now because it's a phase which is the work of writing is under process, and when it's under process, it's different than acting. For writers takes sometimes, or let's say most of the times, take years for the work to come to the action. But for acting is faster, so I go to the faster part now. But definitely the writing is under the process. I hope one day by next year we can start, but that all depends on the market. As we know, we have to be honest, the market is not well like before, so we have to wait till next year and see how the films will be doing. So by then we know that what the step we're gonna
do. Okay, and what about filmmaking? You also directed films, short films.
Yeah, but to be honest, when I was also in Iran this year, we were planning to make film, but the problem with filmmaking, it depends on so many factors. It's a situation of society, situation of the finance, situation of the time. Everything should come together. It's so the filmmakers, they know this better. Especially for the people who's the first time filmmaker. So many factors have to come together, which is when you're the well-known filmmakers, everybody tries to create that what they call it, that space, so you can make the film. But for the person who's the first time, so he has to, she has to try to make everything happen, convince everyone. And because I so far what I did, especially short film, I did all independent film, which is I by asking a favor from this and that. And so in a feature film, when it's go to the feature films, I know the step is also the making a low budget film first,
right.
And also that's need to ask a certain favors, Right. So that might take time and might happen fast, but so far we are on it.
Okay.
We are strongly on it, but let's hope for next year the market become better, so at least the filmmaking also will start.
Right. I'm sure a lot of audiences, a lot of your fans always want to know that how's your Hindi so good? And the fact that you grew up in Sharjah, I know that you grew up in Sharjah and you had neighbors who were Hindi speaking and you watched some Bollywood films. So tell me about growing up and learning the language and how did you perfect it?
I didn't know how to speak it from beginning, to be honest. So what happened? especially 90s and 80s kid, they know Sharjah was a little India.
Yeah.
So growing up there, it's I tell you that in I can explain it in a story, in a short story. Like I had to play cricket because cricket in Middle East is not famous. So imagine how Indian population was huge back then in Sharjah. I had to play cricket and I hate it. And today also I don't like it, to be honest. I find it so boring. Which I love football from the childhood. I am a football fan. But because our neighbor, not most of the people they played football. For me to play football, I had to go to another part of the city, far away. So, but in our neighbor, I forced to play cricket. And the reason is because culturally I was so connected to India. So those days we used to. I don't know if you remember. Those days we used to have Indian film once a week, Thursday night on channel 33. It was coming, and you don't know, like all the people they had to be at home at 10 p.m. to watch that film, and that was the best time of my life, of my best time, because we didn't get used to go to cinema as well, because is what's kind of taboo to go to cinema. It was a sin, especially growing up in a conservative society. But TV was there. So I started to love that world. It was so different for me. People, as soon as they're happy, they start to dance. I said, "Wow, is it happening in this world?" Like as soon as they're happy, they start to just go to the party. For me, it was a different world. So for me, it was escape. But this became part of my life slowly. And I started to love Hollywood more than Hollywood or more than any other cinema. But I didn't realize, even when I was going to university, I went to university in Turkey. I was taking like bunch of CDs and DVDs with me from here. So all the people they were watching behind me, and I was translating. So not translating perfectly. Of course, I had to make so much English I didn't know. I had to say, it's saying that thing. And people say, but it's happening something else. I said, no, don't worry. It's just in the film. It's volume. So I start to understand the language somehow, but not perfectly, of course, just somehow. But I had problem with talking. I didn't have a chance to talk, to spoke. But once Tiger Zinda Hai happened, then I moved to India. And once you're in Bollywood, you have to give 100%. You can't give 99 and you say, oh, things will happen. You have to give 100%. And then me and you, we talk in Hindi. Of course, when this live cut, we will talk Hindi. So now we were talking English, of course. So I speak only Hindi. When anyone speak to me in English in India as well, I answer in Hindi. So that's how.
Do you write Hindi as well? Can you write?
No. No, I tried. I went to the classes for a week, but it was too difficult. I said whether I focus on speaking or writing. I can't. My mind can't do both together.
Okay, it's interesting you're talking about December 2nd, because December 2nd is also the UAE National Day. And you have been part of a lot of modeling assignments in this part of the world. And you resemble great leaders as well. So you've been part of that landscape of Dubai after quitting a marketing job. So tell me about the boring marketing job you were part of.
I guess it wasn't boring, but it was boring for me.
That's what I meant. So you're more creative.
It was. Yeah, because I remember when I quit my job, I was in cosmetics. Okay, first I was in sales, and I start with sales, and slowly I got promoted from one company to another company. Then I got promoted to PR manager, which was marketing and PR and all together. And I had stuff to lead, and at the age of 26, I guess that's a big thing.
When you have all of that.
Yeah, but then once I reached there, I felt so bored. You can't believe what I was doing. It's not I mean, right? But you know, I'm a person. I wake up at 6 a.m. every day. But I hate my job that I was sleeping till 10 at home. I had to be at work at 8:30. I had to be at work at 8:30. Yeah, so I remember the owner of the company was calling, okay, Sajjad, where are you? So I had to run to the balcony so he can hear the
sound of the traffic saying that you're on the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I said, oh, I'm just I'm going to the meeting to this company. Sorry. I'm late to the meeting. That was what I was doing.
So you were acting
for almost one.
So you were acting. So you were acting.
Yeah. I thought I'm good at acting. I mean, why I don't do something I get paid for, you know? So that was what. And then I said, what I'm doing, and this is not right. You know, for myself, for the company, it's not right. I mean, I'm just, you know, not really working. I started the first a few months, but then I was so bored. Yeah. And then I quit. And but to be honest, I didn't have any plan. So my family asked me, "What is your plan?" It's because I was fantastic liar. You know, I told them. So the first month, second month, third month, because but I didn't have any plan. I just wanted to quit my job. And yeah, and they said, "What you?" I said, "I want to do modeling." Then you know, and I called. I remember I had a friend, so I called him home and I told him, "Yeah, please, you go ahead." So he was explaining to my family. He was saying, "Yeah, we have this plan and that plan," and we didn't know. Like we never talked about our plan. So he was lying, but I guess somehow he believed in his lies. I believed in it was chaotic, but you know, you just wanted to just leave that work behind. That I was so bored. I was so bored. So I said, let's do something fun. And that's where the modeling started. And interestingly, from the day one, it's big. And I was doing back-to-back job. You know, 2014, I became face of UAE. It was interesting. Modeling job was interesting, but from day one, I knew I want to be I'm an actor. As soon as I went in front of camera.
Fabulous. And it continues now, despite all the struggles and all the, you know, all the tribulations and the fact that you moved to Bombay and there's so much that you are now exploring. So good luck for all that you're doing. And what are your next projects? Tell me.
Look, we are on talk until
we can't say. We can't talk about it.
We can't say, you know, how is the industry and how is the market. We are on talk, and hopefully soon we can talk about it, but we have to wait the right time.
Good luck with all your endeavors and hope to see you in Dubai soon. And well, we'll wait for Freddy, and I'm sure it's going to be fabulous.
Thank you, Manju. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.